Something I really wanted to talk about really quick before going into class is something I've been thinking about, which is validation outside of institutions. I think it's tough because I go to film school, right? This is an institution, and I have been learning recently about how to manage the feeling of not being validated by an institution and trusting my authority as an artist and trusting that how can I navigate the institution, because I think about in Legally Blonde how Elle Woods, right? She was in this space where her femininity was not taken seriously in law school. Elle Woods actually doubled down on her femininity and she stayed true to herself the entire time. And she learned how to navigate the system through networks of sisterhood, staying true to her values of sisterhood and supporting other women. Hello, I'm Christine. I'm a filmmaker currently balancing film school, my day job, and self-growth. I make videos documenting the lessons I learned along this messy journey of building my dream creative life in hopes of inspiring other creative women like me. I aim to be honest about all the ups and downs of pursuing a creative career, because I hope that it inspires you and it makes you feel less alone as you pursue your unconventional path. I really create for other women who are the cycle breakers, who want to pursue something that is unconventional but true to them. And I speak to you as someone who is doing just that, living life for myself. I am in a park near my school right now, and I came here so I can have a quiet space so we can talk. It's the first day of my summer class. It's a producing class to teach us about how to produce a film and how to be a producer so that we can produce our thesis film, which is going to be a 15-minute film. So it's a larger project that we are learning how to manage, how to make a budget, how to make a schedule for the shoot, all of that, all of the logistical things. I'm walking toward the entrance of my campus so that I can find a place to sit so we can keep talking. I think that's a good spot over there in the shade. It's a really hot day today in New York. Something I really wanted to talk about really quick before going into class is something I've been thinking about, which is validation outside of institutions. I think it's tough because I go to film school, right? This is an institution, and I have been learning recently about how to manage the feeling of not being validated by an institution and trusting my authority as an artist and trusting that I have a purpose as an artist. It's hard when you don't have that external validation yet, especially if you're just starting out like me and you're just making your beginning artworks. I'm very much still early as a filmmaker, and I have a few short films in, but I'm still learning the craft and improving upon the craft. I'm still learning how to improve, which I think is forever. You never stop improving as an artist, I think. But lately I've been kind of grappling with the feeling of not getting money for my films. I've been denied from a few grants in my life as a filmmaker so far in the past few years, and I had to kind of take responsibility for that without feeling like a victim about it or feeling discouraged or down about it. It is discouraging when you don't receive funding for your project or validation of some kind that would help you make the project or would help you seem legitimate as an artist, right? And for me, I thought that it was because I'm a woman. I'm like, oh, it's my projects are less likely to be funded and taken seriously, which I think has a grain of truth because filmmaking is a male dominated space and it has been for a long time. But also, I think that it's more empowering, right? To see, okay, how can I navigate the system? How can I navigate the institution? Because I think about in Legally Blonde how Elle Woods, right? She was in this space where her femininity was not taken seriously in law school. Elle Woods actually doubled down on her femininity and she stayed true to herself the entire time, and she learned how to navigate the system through networks of sisterhood, staying true to her values of sisterhood and supporting other women within the system she was in. And she was able to find her way through it. Also through a lot of hard work and learning her field, right? Like she studied so hard and really made sure she knew her field and she knew the ins and outs of it, and she was able to win in a way, even through obstacles she faced, right? Like how Elle Woods had to face a sexist professor who tried to take advantage of her, and she faced bullying from her peers who didn't take her seriously because she was so feminine and she liked to wear pink and she was so bubbly, so she was underestimated. So I feel like that movie stands true today and it stands the test of time. I just appreciate it so much. And that's what I've been thinking about for myself in regards to how to navigate institutions and how to feel like, okay, how can I learn what grants want? How can I learn what the systems are looking for? Not to bend myself to appease them necessarily, but to play the game myself, right? And think, okay, how to be strategic. How can I be strategic? Because my story matters and it deserves to get off the ground. It deserves funding. It deserves support. I deserve help. But how do I also understand the system so that I can sneak my way around, and sneak my way in there? Not that I have to sneak my way in. That's not really what I mean. I think I am willing to put the work in and work hard and understand my craft, right? And respect it because I want to understand my craft and I do that out of reverence for it. But I think I just have to understand the system, right? If that makes any sense. So that's kind of what I've been thinking about. I'm like, okay, why did some projects get funding and mine didn't? And I think one thing for sure that I found is that I just need to understand logistics better and I need to sound more confident in my project because I realized and I learned recently that projects that get funding are projects that the filmmaker has thought through a lot, especially logistics, because if someone is going to invest in your project, they want to make sure that it's going to get done and they want to see like, okay, is this feasible? Is there a lot of things that can go wrong in this shoot, right? For my thesis film, let me give you a hint. I'm going to be filming in another country outside of the US. So that has a lot of logistics, things that can go wrong. It's a rural location too, which adds complications on top of it. It's a different language that is spoken in that country. So I was like, okay, I think that I also wasn't so sure and I was not so confident about the story in the sense that like I didn't have all the answers yet about the logistics, about how I was going to make this actually work. How am I going to actually make this happen? And also I'm still working on the script. I'm still in the early drafts of my script. I'm a few drafts in, but I still have a lot to work on. With the dialogue, with the story itself, with the characters. So I was not 100% there yet when I pitched my film and had an opportunity to receive a grant for it. I wasn't 100% there and I wasn't 100% sure about my film yet, about all the things. So I think that played a role. And I was like, okay, for the future, I'm going to try to figure out the logistics of my film. And also, once I make more films, I think that my reputation will change, right? And people can see that I do get projects done and I will build trust in that way. for people to support me and invest in me, you know? But I think that's just something I wanted to talk about. It's been on my mind, and I don't know if it can relate to you in some way, whether it's with your art or in your confidence in your field, right? Especially if you're someone who has been, especially if you're a woman, honestly, if you're a woman anywhere, or you're someone who has been historically um, maybe, you know, not supported in some way in your field or whatever you're doing. Or even if you're just the first person in your family to do something, or you're the first person in your community to do something unconventional and do something different. I hope that this helps you in some way. So basically, don't let yourself get discouraged if maybe you're doing something and it's not hitting right away and it's not getting good results right away. That's what I'm telling myself, because I'm like, let me put the work in to make my project better, to make my project stronger, instead of getting discouraged and feeling like, oh, well, maybe filmmaking is not for me. Maybe I don't belong here. Maybe I shouldn't do this. Maybe I suck, right? It's so easy for your ego to go there, because you want to get praise right away, right? Like, you want to make something and immediately people are like, yes, like, genius, this is so good. And it's actually a good sign if you're getting concrete feedback to make your work better. That's how I feel. I sent my project over to a peer so they can give me feedback on my script last night, and they gave me notes on the dialogue. It stung a little bit, because they were like, oh, this isn't really how people in this time period and in this region, that's not really how they talk. But, it's a really great idea. It's a really great story. So, it stung. It stings to get feedback, honestly. But you just got to do it. It's a normal part of the process. I think everyone goes through it. But yeah, let's keep going together. Let's not give up together. We're in this together. Okay. Aw, thank you so much. I really appreciate it, and seeing the projects tonight was so inspiring and amazing, so I'm so grateful. Hey guys, so I wanted to give you an update because something has changed within the past day. Literally, I filmed the earlier part of this video yesterday when I had my first day of my summer class. And then afterward, my classmates and I went to go see the screening of the thesis films, because in my film program, there's 2 years. I'm just finishing up my first year, and then I'm about to enter my second year. But the second years already graduated and they finished their thesis films. So they were going to have their screenings, and my screening is next year, spring 2027, and I'm filming my thesis film this year. But anyway, I also won an award of money that I can use to go toward my film school tuition and my thesis film. And I'm just so grateful. It's so crazy how I was just talking about accepting that I'm gonna have to learn the system and learn institutions, right? So I can navigate them and receive support and funding for my art as a filmmaker. And I'm just so grateful that I have these resources available to me, in film school, and with the grant of, I guess it's more of an award, grant award, you know, I'll say award, the award that I received. And I really didn't expect it, but I've been feeling really at peace today, just really grateful for everything, and also grateful for detachment in general, and grateful for self-validation. I think this just goes to show again, like, I think things work out for you. Like, you don't have to worry, like, release worry and release attachment, because it's going to work out, and it's going to work out in ways you never could have imagined.